What's up, you beautiful Redditors? Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Welcome to the RNEWS Evening Show. And let's just jump into it. From r/politics, Biden not getting intelligence reports because Trump officials won't recognize him as president-elect. As an American who has seen at least one espionage movie, I have concerns about listening devices in the White House. First thing I do, before having any sensitive conversation, is to have the place searched. Very bottom floor to ceiling. The amount of times the Russians have been in there, it's bound to be bugged. But this isn't Biden's first rodeo, and if he starts his national security team like he did his COVID team, he should be fine. Knowing this administration, the bugs were installed backwards and we'll end up with a bunch of tapes of Trump talking about hamburgers and treason. Man, for 4 years they've been preparing these intelligence reports and nobody is willing to read them. They finally have someone willing to read them and he isn't allowed. Maybe they don't want to admit they have stopped preparing them at all. Just imagine the crazy crap the right would be spewing if Dems pulled even a little of this on their incoming candidate. I'm so tired of being great guys. Pentagon. Here's today's briefing we gave to the president. Hands Biden a crayon drawing of a rainbow. He held the flag, he drew the rainbow. I thought he was getting intelligence reports since he became the Democratic nominee. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. WHO says mutant mink coronavirus outbreak in Denmark is a concern. Throws the 2020 bingo board out the window. Who had coronavirus V2 for November? Who's prepared for something like that? WHO isn't. Yup, it happened to my cousin Billy Ray. Billy Ray virus. Achy breaky lung. Yes, by going into another species. Alright, who fricked a mink? Randy. Somehow, they got the DNA up inside the mink. Just gave it a watch as a Dane. The speaker is talking about how the family mink business will meet its end. And the first guy with a heavy dialect is mentioning someone, maybe their father, who would be turning in his grave if he heard of this. The second guy is saying the corona BS needs to stop and that there's nothing dangerous about it. Kissing to demonstrate, and questioning why they can't sell the skin. Edit. Clarification. It's the mink that he says there's nothing dangerous about. For general corona, he only says they should stop the babble. Most precise translation I could find. Soon. But I guess it's more or less the same. Still, didn't want to put words in his mouth. Smells like December 2019. Oh, we'll keep an eye on it. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/News. US reports more than 100,000 COVID-19 cases for 7th day in a row. The weird thing? For all of Republicans' claims that COVID talk would disappear after the election, it actually turned out to be Hunter Biden who vanished from the news after last week. I know folks who are pivoting to how the Pfizer announcement was part of the conspiracy. He's still the president. He better get off Twitter and do something real quick fast like. It's infinitely better if he does absolutely nothing, actually. Let experts handle. Assuming a 1% fatality rate, that's also more than 2 9/11 deaths. I'm starting to feel like nobody cares anymore. I'm calling it here, right before Biden takes office in January. It'll be around 300,000 new cases a day. Edit. My best friend's mom just got diagnosed with COVID. We were hanging out this weekend. For frick's sake. Edit 2. My best friend and I were hanging out. Not my best friend's mom and I. Edit 3. My best friend actually saw this comment and texted me about it. Weird. I am concerned that people being fatigued from taking precautions at this point, even if they generally take it seriously, is going to lead to a lot of spread during Thanksgiving, which is then going to be dispersed even more during Christmas events. Just as the weather is getting worse and people are going to stay indoors more, is all going to combine to rocket the case numbers sky high. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics, Biden's lead in Georgia grows to over 14,000 votes. I didn't expect when we were on the edge of Georgia going blue to be this big of a lead. Fox News top story this morning. Lol nah. Just wait until the GOP finally finds those tens of thousands of frauded ballots. Just you wait. Then we'll find out that it was actually 24,000 votes that Biden won by because there were some GOP batshit crazy, so convinced of voter fraud that they went out and committed it. And that will quickly be swept under the rug by conservatives. The election is just an exercise in accounting. There is nothing special about it, and the counting of votes follows each state's process. If you think there is some kind of mass conspiracy across only the states Biden won, you need to get some help. Break it down yourself. Only the states Biden won. Seriously, get over it. Yes, we landed on the moon and the earth is round too. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/politics. Stop romanticizing divided government. If McConnell is majority leader, there will be no progress. This is why those 2 Georgia Senate runoffs in January are more important than ever. Godspeed, Stacey Abrams and Georgia voters. That freaking turtle has conducted politics in the most cynical way possible. Really eroding any sense of fairness and decorum. Hate that guy. I was going to buy myself a new gaming console, but hell, the $350 is way better spent here. Thanks for this. I actually feel like I made a difference for once. Me too. Only $10 cause I'm broke. But it feels good. And here's your reward. I volunteer to write postcards, doing my part for Georgia. I made calls the other day, over 150 of them. Frick you very much, Kentucky. I'm a young voter in Georgia, and I will be voting in the runoff like my life depends on it. You're watching the RNEWS show. From r/World News. Jair Bolsonaro asks Brazilians not to deal with COVID-19 like FGS. Wearing a mask and keeping others safe is the sexiest thing ever. Drink your own crap to show virility. Take that, libs. Now everyone knows I'm straight. Try not to suck any dick on your way through the hospital parking lot. Built different. Till there is a homosexual way to deal with COVID. What's he got against figs? Because God hates figs. He said maricas, so I think the correct translation would be something like sissy. Maybe. Still a very, very dumb thing to say. Bolsonaro is a C-word. He got a core of die-hard fanatics who think HES the second coming of Jesus and can do no wrong. And a good chunk of idiots that don't really care about him but don't really care who's in power. Either, as long as it ain't a damn commie and they get their way. It's basically a Trump situation, really. And that's where we're going to end today's show. But if you like what you saw, leave a like. And if you want to see more of the RNEWS show, hit that subscribe button. As always, this has been the RNEWS show, and I'll see you tomorrow.